Jamie from Creations Misfit, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really easy and quick bulky scarf. This can be used for a man, a woman, a child, whatever you'd like. So what you're going to need today is I use some super bulky yarn. You can use a size 5 or size 6 yarn. I'm going to use a 9mm crochet hook, some scissors, and a sewing needle to sew in your ends. Now, the yarn that I'm using is from blueprint.com. It's sprightly acrylic, super bulky. I love this yarn, and the color is crimson. It's such a pretty color. I hope that it works out okay and it's not too dark for the video. So let's go ahead and get started. I already did my chains, but for your chains, if you want to do a scarf that's well, it's probably about 5.5 to 6 feet, somewhere in between there. So if you want to do that length, you're going to chain 157 chains. But you can do any length you want. If you're doing a child's scarf, you want to chain less, you can just kind of measure however long your chains are going to be. So do as many chains as you'd like and then add 2 on the end. So if you want to do 155 chains, then you add 2 for 157 on the end. And that will give you the size scarf that I made that's in the picture that I showed before this. So I already went ahead and did my chains, but go ahead and do yours, and then you can pause the video now, do your chains, and then come back and we'll get started. Otherwise, if you're ready for your chains, if you're done with your chains and you're ready to start the scarf, let's go ahead and start. So after you've chained, you're going to skip the first 2 chains on your hook, and you're going to half double crochet into the 3rd chain. So we're going to skip this first one, skip the second one, half double crochet into this 3rd chain. Okay, and then all you're going to do is half double crochet all the way across. I do a funny thing with my thumb, so if it looks like I'm crocheting strangely, I am. But it's just a regular half double crochet. So go ahead and crochet, half double crochet all the way across your chain. And you should have, if you're doing the same size as me, you should have 155 half double crochets at the end, or however many you started with minus that 2. That's how many you should have on the way back. So go ahead and half double crochet all the way across, and then meet me back and we'll get on to the next row. I'm still working through mine. I just wanted to kind of show you what the half double crochets should look like if you're a beginner. This is what they look like. And I also wanted to let you know that I think that I can't remember now, but I'll know after this, which will probably be too late, but I'll put it in the description below so you can look before you get started. I think I used 2.5 to 3 balls of this yarn, and this yarn is, I think it's 100 yards. Let's see. 109 yards, so somewhere between like 260 and 300 yards of super bulky is what you would need to do this size scarf anyways. And this works up really quickly. My dad was coming from he was visiting from Algeria, and he kind of told us the day before he was coming that he was coming. And I live in the United States, so I wanted to make him something. I was making him a rug, which I'm still working on the pattern for, but I wanted to make him something that he could use while he was here. And so I whipped this scarf up for him really quickly, and he really liked it. And it's nice and textured and bulky and warm, and it's so simple, but it looks more detailed than it is. And I worked on it maybe, I don't know, 2 hours at the very most, and it was finished. So this is a really good beginner project, or something if you just need a gift really quickly for somebody, or for yourself even, if you just want to work on something. I love bulky yarn. You can also make this in any size yarn. I love bulky yarn, and things just work up so much quicker, and they just feel more modern to me a lot of times, or just better quality for some reason than when I work with like a worsted weight yarn or something. But feel free to use any yarn you want. Basically it's just the measurements that you have to make sure that it's long enough and wide enough for your liking. But any yarn will work if you'd rather use a size 4 or worsted weight, or you know, even a DK weight or something like that. So I'm going to keep going and get to the end here in a little bit, and then I will meet you back. So go ahead and pause the video and finish up if you've not finished, and then I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, I am back, and I have done 155 half double crochets all the way across, and I just finished up my last stitch. So what you're going to do from here is chain 2 and turn your work. Now this is really, really simple. I'm going to try to just do this quickly because I'm losing light here. For the second row, all you're going to do is a half double crochet again, but we're just going to go in the back loop only. If you've never used back loop, it's really simple. You just do a half double crochet as normal, but when you look at your work here, you can see, hold on, let me pull this out here. You can see the tops of the stitches, the V's here, each V. Well, it has a front loop and it has a back loop. Okay, so this is the front loop of a stitch. This is the back loop of a stitch, and then we normally just go through both loops together. So we're just going to go into the back loop only. And what that does is give us a really nice texture, and it makes it really feel very thick. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into this very first stitch here. Make sure you don't go into your chains on the end here, but this very first stitch where we would normally go through both, we're just going to take the back loop. And once you get going, it goes really quickly. It doesn't slow me down at all, you know, once you start going. So yarn over, go into this very first stitch, the back loop only, and do your half double crochet. Okay, and then go into the next one, and you can start to turn your work as you're going, so you won't see, you know, the fronts here. You'll just start seeing the top of the stitches, and you can easily find the back loop, especially with bulky yarn. It's really simple to get in there. So go into the next one, half double, next one, here's your back loop, here's your front, just the back loops, half double. Sorry, I finished like half of this row, and then I came and looked at my camera, and it had run out of battery or storage or something, and it didn't record. So anyways, we're back here. I'm losing light here, so I'm going to try to hurry and show you the rest of this. But basically, you're just going to, for this entire row, you're going to go into that back stitch and do your half double crochets all the way across, and that's it. That's the whole scarf. So what you're going to do from here is do as many rows as you want to get to the width of the scarf you like. We already did the length that we like, so every row from here on out, you're going to do back loop only, half double crochets. And when you get to the end of a row, you chain up 2, turn your work, and then start again. Back loop only, half double crochets all the way across. And what it does is leaves a really nice, I think I probably already said this, I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't because half of it didn't record, but it leaves a nice braided kind of look here, and it just sets apart each row, and you'll see as you go it looks really nice and textured. So just go ahead and do as many rows as you want. I usually like to do my scarves about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches wide, so you can measure your scarf this way as you go to see how many rows you want to do. I'm not sure how many rows that is. I think it's maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 possibly, maybe not that many, but 6 maybe. It's just your preference. So however many rows you want to do, you just keep doing the same thing. Half double crochet in the back loop only. The only row that we did the regular half double crochet in is our very first row. Okay, everything after that will be back loop only, half double crochet. When you get to the end, you chain 2 and turn your work, and then keep going. And I'm probably going to finish mine and then come back, and once you pause this, then I'll come back, but it'll be tomorrow for me because I'm going to lose light here, and I don't want this yarn is pretty dark, so I don't want to get any darker than it already is. But I'll show you after this how big my scarf is, and then don't tie off or anything. We'll finish up our scarves together. I mean, but that's as simple as it is. I think I can't remember if I already said it, but it took me maybe it was under 2 hours, or maybe right around 2 hours to finish, a good sized scarf. So just keep working on it. And when we get to the end, I will show you, just come back and I'll show you how to finish off our scarf, and maybe, give you a couple options for finishing it if you don't want to leave it as is. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Just keep working on your scarf back and forth the whole time. Back loop only, half double crochets, chain 2 at the end, turn, and start back up. We'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. It's a new day for me here, but I went ahead and finished my scarf. I did 9 extra rows, so not counting that very first row where we did the regular half double crochet. Then I did 9 rows of back loop only half double crochet, and mine is about a little bit more than 5 inches across. Okay, so you can see that nice texture. Hopefully you've finished with yours now. Now, for the end of the scarf, you can either keep it as is, just go ahead and tie off and weave in your ends, or there's a couple different options here. Sometimes people like to go around the entire scarf with like a single crochet or a slip stitch, just to kind of finish off the edges. For this scarf, I don't do that because I feel like the edges are really finished already. But if you'd like to make it a little bit wider, or just a really finished look with a single crochet around, you can do that. And just make sure that when you go to the ends here, some of these are hard to see the different rows. Just make sure that you do the same amount of stitches on this bottom half as you do on the other bottom half. Otherwise it will be a bit wonky. But you can do that. You can finish off with a single crochet all the way around, or you can leave it as is, or you can do some fringe on the bottom. A lot of people like to do fringe. I'm not going to do fringe on this particular scarf, but I will show you how in case you want to do that. Also, I wanted to let you know I thought I was going to use more yarn, but for this scarf, which is about almost 6 feet long and 5 inches across, I didn't even use 2 of those balls. This is what I have left, so I just have a little bit left, but I used probably about 200 yards for this scarf, which is great. This is a really nice big scarf, so I just wanted to let you know how much I used. And so let's say that we want to do some fringe on the bottom. What you're going to do is cut some pieces. I'm not going to do all of them because, like I said, I'm not going to do fringe for this one, but you'll want to cut a bunch of pieces about the same length. It depends on how long you want your fringe. When you fold it in half, that's about how long the fringe will be, and then you'll probably cut it too. So some people like really long fringe, short fringe, whatever. It doesn't matter. So basically, if you don't know how to attach fringe, you just go to the bottom of the scarf or whatever you're doing, and oops, let me get a bigger hook here. Okay, you just insert your hook to every stitch, or however much you want to do below. If you want to go in every one or every other one, I'm just going to go in one here real quick. And then you put your piece in half like this and put your hook underneath. Pull it through and then just pull over like a chain stitch. And then your fringe is there. And you can cut it, and you could do, if you want to do several pieces in one stitch, you could do that, or however much you want. But that's just how you do the fringe if you want to add that on. And if you want to weave in your ends, or if you don't know how to weave in your ends, I can show you that real quick too. But otherwise, you're done with your scarf. So great job. I hope that you liked it. And if it was helpful, please, I'm going to cut this fringe up. If it was helpful, please let me know in the comments below. And if you did make one and you're on Instagram, I'd love to see it. So you can tag me. I'm at Creations Misfit. And yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know how it went. And if you could like this video, that would be really helpful. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. I just got started, but I hope to do more. If there's something that you'd like to see just let me know below, and if you'd like to subscribe, that would be amazing. Okay, so quickly, here's how you sew in your ends. This is the way I do it. There's plenty of other ways, but I just get my yarn on my needle, and I kind of just go in and out of some stitches. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Just try to get into some of the tighter stitches, go up and down, back and forth. You know, you don't want to just go straight across because it might come out, so choose some that are going down. With bulky yarn, it's a little bit harder because everything's kind of open, but make sure you're going in different directions. So I went this way, I'll go back up this way, and make sure you're going into different stitches. Just kind of weave in and out as many times as you'd like, and then you can cut your yarn right here and be done, and it should be just fine. But I like to do my last one. I kind of go through a stitch and I pull through, and before I pull all the way through, oops, I leave this little loop here and I put my hook through the loop and then pull all the way through, and it just gives it a knot there, and it's very, it's you can't see it at all. And then I just cut my yarn at the knot, and there, you can't see where I was weaving it at all. Okay, so that's it, and then you'll want to do the one that you started with too. So that's it, that's the scarf. I hope it was helpful, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.